안녕하세요. 소소입니다. 감사합니다. Everglow, Pirate. This is one that is from a year ago, maybe a little bit longer than that. Year and a half seems like going on. We didn't get to it yet, but yeah, it was always on the list for Everglow for sure, because Everglow is a fantastic group. They do really good stuff as part of their generation, in K-pop. It's actually pretty impressive. They've got great choreography. They've got great vocals. They're like a really solid group. So definitely meant to get to Pirate earlier, but we're there now, and I'm pretty sure that they're going to have a comeback soon, aren't they? I'm fairly certain that they are. But anyways, let's check out Pirate from Everglow.
I'm a pirate, yeah, yeah, a pirate, yeah, yeah, a pirate, yeah, yeah. Now let me introduce myself. 난 함대 시작해 향해 달 안개를 향해. Yeah, let me introduce myself. 24 hours 사라져 빛이 밤사이 밤사이 유려한 별빛 요란한 오늘 밤사이 I 덫을 올려. 춤춰봐 tonight and we could be anything, anything now. 미쳐봐 no doubt, rowing for the crown. 휘날린 깃발. On the way, on the way, on the way, 우리가 만든 riot. On the way, on the way, on the way, can never stay quiet. Girls all over the world, 뛰어라 tonight. Let's get on board. 'Cause I'm a pirate, yeah, yeah, a pirate. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Now let me introduce myself. 난 한대 시작해 향해 다른 길을 향해. Yeah, let me introduce myself. Hoy, 노래 불러 이제 가려진 달곰 찔러 축제. Well, shiver me, timbers. 같이 이 밤 지켜봐. 먼지 어깨에 on board. 다가올 해일 사라질 이 파도 아래서 잠들 모두. Yeah, I'm making a move. 유려한 별빛 요란한 tonight and we could be anything, anything now. 미쳐봐 no doubt, rowing for the crown. 휘날린 깃발. On the way, on the way, 우리가 만든 riot. On the way, on the way, on the way, can never stay quiet. Girls all over the world, 뛰어라 tonight. Get on board. 'Cause I'm a pirate, yeah, yeah, a pirate. 나를 믿고 따라올라 나의 방주에. 'Cause we are girls all over the world. 춤춰봐 tonight and we could be anything, anything now. 미쳐봐 no doubt, rowing for the crown. 휘날린 깃발. 'Cause I'm a pirate, yeah, yeah, a pirate, yeah, yeah, a pirate, yeah, yeah. Now let me introduce myself.
They like they have a really energetic sound, Everglow, and the choreography too. It's like everything is quite dynamic. The definitely like EDM based type of track. lots of synth, lots of different of these plugins, that are being used. The I guess like the verse and then also the chorus sections. There's okay, so it's EDM, but a lot of the rhythms that you can really pick up on, like in the percussion, they're very Latin dance inspired, or based on that type of sound. It almost sound like a Pitbull track or something. Like when you get that boom, there's a certain rhythm in there. It's in the percussion, and the even the way that the bass synth does its thing in this song too. I was like, I'm really getting a lot of that Latin dance type of flavor, and then we get a nice contrast to the in the pre-chorus section, right, when that sort of there's a change, that very sort of strong like synth bass sound kind of drops out, and we get some other little licks in there. There are these little synth licks that are going on, and it's a nice color change, as is pretty typical, right, once you get to that, and it has a resolution back to that very like strong type of synth bass sound that's going on, and it's quite upbeat. Like, this is very, very quick as far as the tempo goes. Let's see. The vocal delivery, of course, is very rhythmic, right? Until we get to certain sections, the pre-chorus and the bridge section was actually really cool. That was and they synced it up with like the visual that was going on there too. It's very it's similar to like steampunk or cyberpunk, but it's something else. Like glam punk, maybe, something like that. You know what I mean? The sort of looks that are going on here. There's a lot of these common motives now that you see a lot. The sword in the sheath. That's something that's like I've seen that so many times. Not I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying, like, it's a one of these common elements that you see of a visual motive that does reemerge a lot these days, but keeping it with like this pirate theme, having a sort of a rapier style sword, right? You can tell by the type of blade, and then the actual like hilt, there's a little guard for the hand on the grip and all that. It ties in the visual. It's like space pirate. It's not like old school sea pirates, but it's there's certain references in there, like shiver me timbers, like it's good. It's really good if you're gonna do a pirate themed song. I have it like, because you never hear that. I mean, outside of something that's a little on the nose, like shanties or something that is more like parody based, right? But yeah, they pulled it off. They pulled off a Shiver Me Timbers line, which is that gets credit all on its own. Let's see. So we're definitely in 4. So really like funky bass too, right? There's a pan percussion in there, a little tick that you hear, that boom 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 boom. It's counting out 4, and it's something like a snare, but it's super compressed and has it's almost like the sound is really squashed down, and then that synth bass is being like maybe phased or shifted, that's why I get that, and then like it has a normal sort of level where it's at, but you can just kind of tweak it up and down to create that kind of effect on it.
Gonna be a man lunatic girl 신비하게 바뀌다니 오면 은밀하게 시작될 쇼 비밀 속에 yeah dance I want it
1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4 yeah.
Let me introduce myself 난 한대 시작해 향해 잘 안개를 향해 Yeah let me introduce
So there's an 808, there's a kick, and then there's a snare, a real snappy, like crisp sounding snare. The elements in the different parts of the mix, the percussion and the synth, like there's stuff keeps going in and out. Like it never stops. Like it stays super busy, and there are certain parts that come in on different rhythms, and then they'll sort of drop out, and something else will come in, maybe in one of the contrasting parts of the mix. But it's super busy.
24 hours 사라져 빛이 밤사이에 밤사이에 유려한 별빛 요란한 오늘 밤사이에 I 덫을 올려 Girls all over the world 춤춰봐 tonight and we could be anything now 미쳐봐 no doubt growing for the crown 휘날리게 봐
So nice ascending line right on our pre-chorus. Dun da 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 dun da 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 dun. Like it's sort of walking its way up, and then also that cool little melodic synth licks that you hear in the back. Right, they're kind of mimicking the rhythm that's going on in the vocals. Doot do 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 doot, and that's a real throwback sound. Like that sound like some early like 2000s electronica type sound, that type of like club music that was coming out back then. Definitely like some throwback vibes in this, with a lot of the synth work that's going on. And so we do have like a nice little at the end of that this ascending lines here. Towards the end of this phrase, you can hear where it's setting up for the resolution. It's all in the vocal too. You hear that? That's 16th notes. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and it's so fast. It's super fast.
'Cause I'm a pirate, yeah, a pirate, yeah, a pirate, yeah. Now let me introduce myself. 난 한대 시작해 향해 다른 길을 향해. Yeah, let me introduce myself. Hoy, 노래 불러 이제 가려진 달곰 질러 축제.
Like really different sound here, right? Like everything sort of dropped out, became very minimalist. We got these, so that really is like snappy snare sound that still feels like quite squashed, like by the compression, and then we have that light synth sort of melodic tone that's going on, and then the vocal part over it, which is shiver me timbers. This is good to pull this off in a song. It's not bad. It's not bad. But you can really hear the difference as far as like the space now in the mix. That like it's because it's so busy, right? There the moments where the beat drops and the mix kind of gets stripped down. But it's such an upbeat song. It's so fast. So it's only for a few measures, like a phrase or something, and then the mix is going to come back in very strong and very full.
Well, shiver me timbers 같이 이 밤 지켜봐 먼지 어깨에게 onboard 다가올 해일 사라질 이 파도 아래서 잠들 모두 Yeah, I'm making a move 유려한 별빛
triplet groups there, one lolly, two lolly, three lolly, four. It's really busy. Everything in this song is like super ramped up. So that sort of like ambient sort of crash that happens there, that psh, right? It's really opens up here. It's a really nice, like a sort of resolution into this section. It's this section the it's so much more chill, like the this color change and this dynamic change and everything. It's really it's like a really good pre-chorus section for sure. Oh, there's like the mix starts to build up and it gets busy so quickly, man. You have like all these percussive rhythms that start to build up, and I hear a lot of the drum sounds like sort of panned right, and then there was those synth licks and the different synth parts that come in, like sit a little bit more towards the left, but there was like a crazy synth lick that just went right now. Like it's random little bursts of like all kinds of different things. I mean, it's so colorful. It's super busy. It just always, like every section, every time you get a verse section, a pre-chorus section, there's underlying rhythms and underlying parts in the mix that are there in each turn. But then there's always something different. There's always like a certain little rhythmic pattern or something that pops up, and it only appears that time, like that second pre-chorus section or that second verse section, and then they're not going to do it again, the next time they come around, or if they do, they're throwing everything together finally. Like all these parts that you heard throughout the song are going to come back. But it's very, very busy. Like it has this dynamically and rhythmically in the mix. It's constantly shifting and changing and moving. Like it's very, very fast paced. It's fun. I mean, it's really fun. This breakdown is nice. So that little breakdown bridge section there, it's a really cool shift. Like it just, coming out of the we got pre-chorus, chorus, and then this bridge section that came in. Her vocal part there, it's fantastic. The melody lines, right? It's really, really nice. It's strong. It's really strong. It's chest voice for sure, but it's got an impressively high kind of pitch quality to it. And then they come in, they expand on that by introducing the harmonization, and then they want to bring it back into, I think this is pre-chorus again, right? But it's really cool. It feels really awesome. That bridge section, the way it goes. It kind of has this pull to it, like each time that bass comes around, and it's like, it's characteristic of this type of music, this type of sound, but it's really fun there. Like it's just a fun change up. space pirates, not just regular pirates, seafaring pirates, but space pirates, right? Towards the moon fog and all of that. It's very fun. It's very fun. Everglow they have like fun songs is the thing. They're very dynamic. They're very colorful. Rhythmically, they're very, very busy. Like this mix is really insane. Like there's so many different things going on in your different sections. Excellent build-ups, like compounding rhythms from the time that a verse begins up until the time that it hits pre-chorus. You're getting several change-ups in the percussion parts, in the vocal parts, in the rhythm parts. Like but still like very consistent. Like it keeps its continuity while also being very, very busy. It's partly because of its fast tempo, like moving so quickly through these parts. So as long as you have maintained some of those rhythms, it's kind of like this. You can think of it as like the skeleton of the song. As long as that's there and remains connected, it'll work, because we're moving at this very quick tempo, and certain things coming back around to the pre-chorus sections, that sort of ascending line that goes on to the pre-chorus, that keeps everything kind of like glued together. The shift during the bridge section was really nice. It was really fun. It's a very satisfying part of the song, much like the pre-chorus is, right? And then because the verse and the chorus are quite like they're very strong. That synth is kind of relentless. A lot of the rhythms in those sections are also kind of relentless, but it goes along with the sort of empowerment concept of the song. You know, like it feels very, very, very apropos. The idea of a pirate, you know what I mean? Like that's kind of what it is. A pirate has to be quite bold, but also quite measured. You know, it's a thing that takes. It's a weird sort of space to be in, right? Because if you're, it's an idea of like being very good, and consistent at certain things, and that allows you to be a little bit more expressive and to take chances and to be bold in actions, and it's demonstrated pretty nicely in the mix and in the composition. It's got strong contrast, but you know, it keeps its continuity, and it's very fun. It's fun in the way that Everglow songs are a good time. You know, I think I'm trying to remember, like, I think this might be from the Everglow songs that I've done here and heard, the ones that I know. I think this feels like one of probably the fastest one as far as tempo. So that's what, for me, it kind of sets it apart from the ones that I've heard before. It makes it fun. It's enjoyable. It's a good time. But man, it's super busy. It's a very fun, well executed type of song. Yeah, but there was definitely some throwback sounds in there. But at the same time, it feels very contemporary and fresh and sort of new. And that's kind of like Everglow. You know what I mean? Like they have this ability to it just sounds really cool, and just, what they come out with feels really fresh all the time, and really like, oh man, what's going on here? Which is a part of the reason why they are like so popular and so successful. It's very, very, because it's so competitive, and it's not easy to stand out. It's not easy to sort of like separate yourself from the greater landscape. You know what I mean? But Everglow is one of those groups that can do it, and it's their performance, and it's also the things that are going on behind that, as far as the composition and the production and all of these things. They're definitely, with like very significant aspects of it. But it's a very fun song and video. It's cool. It was cool, man. It's actually pushing that concept into like a cool space that I haven't seen yet, because it is reminiscent of like think steampunk pirates. Well, that's a no-brainer. You've seen that before. And then think cyberpunk in space. It's like, well, yeah, okay, Guardians of the Galaxy. So you know what I mean? Like you've seen that before also. So this is kind of like a combination of those things into like space pirate glam punk, something like that. You know what I mean? But it's very cool. It's extremely creative. That's another quality of Everglow, is that their stuff is like really, really creative, with the choreography, with everything, the songwriting. Everything is very creative. It's very, very clever use of all of the parts that they put together to make a song, a video, all these different things. But it definitely, it's quite relentless. It's a take no prisoners type of empowerment feel. But it was fun. Everglow, Pirates. It's definitely a good time. And if I'm ever a space pirate, captain of my own ship, this will be on the playlist, for when we have to do the space pirate thing. You know what I mean? It'd be fun. Everglow, Pirate. It's a fun jam there.